Welcome to the Astrology for Liberation podcast. I'm Elisa, your astrologer, hypnotherapist, intuitive coach, and energy guide. The intention of the Astrology for Liberation podcast and all of my work is to offer transformative insight to catalyze your greatest life fulfillment. And I'm back as the moon just entered the Mercury-ruled discernment of Virgo Monday at 3:53 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 6:53 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 10:53 p.m. Greenwich Meridian Time. And it's picking up on what's not clear as trickster Mercury slows down to retrograde 12 hours later at 4 degrees of Gemini, where it will move backward into Taurus by June 3rd when it goes direct. Keep asking questions. You'll probably get a lot of different answers. Don't assume anything. This is good for reframing something to assess the foundations of your life so that you're more secure because of the Mercury and Taurus influence at the end. Mercury retrograde is a recalibration time. This Mercury retro takes you back to the practical earth of Taurus. You already knew things were changing. Now you'll find out more about just how confusing that might seem at first. It's a great time to develop a strategy because you can determine all the potential problems and understand more of the unexpected upsides. This isn't a week of clarity, though. Ask, when you're listening to someone, what's the speaker's motivation behind anything that you hear? Is it misinformation or false information or disinformation, which is propaganda? Prepare for both. While expansive, truth-seeking Jupiter enters the bold initiative of Aries, also on Tuesday, until October 27th, when it retrogrades back to Pisces. You'll feel Jupiter entering Aries. It's been gone since 2011, and this transit gives you a renewed sense of confidence in the house it's transiting through. Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars will be in Aries and join Jupiter on May 29th. To be sure, protests against anything that seeks to dominate another with regressive policies will persist and grow louder around the world. Jupiter in Aries wants freedom, and it's not standing still. Superhuman feats are possible during this transit. Jupiter will complete its transit in Aries later this year from December 20th to May 16th, 2023. With the moon in Virgo picking up on the swell of communications that don't make sense, you can use your critical thought process to discern if anything is true or helpful. There are numerous gems of insights to be found in the rubble of disrupted communications. Just don't commit to anything you can't back out of until June 3rd. And I've got a couple of lines about each sign for you to interpret what to expect with this Mercury retrograde in Gemini. So think for a moment about what your sun and ascendant or rising and moon are, and then listen to these snippets for your interpretation of kind of the focus of this Mercury retrograde. Aries, you're looking at your life in a new way. Trust the new information you're learning will help you create greater security in the long run. Taurus, you're getting new ideas that support you in redefining your budget to include more of what you value in a steady, determined way. Gemini, Mercury retro in your sign brings up how you may say one thing and then do something else. Reflect on what the other twin in you really wants. It's important before Mars stations retro in your sign of Gemini in October. Cancer, you're integrating all the parts of your mind to tackle the concerns that seem to haunt you. This is an excellent time to delimit your unconscious inhibitions. Leo, what did you say? This is a good time to revisit your communications with friends and in your professional sphere for great results in June. Virgo, this is your year to advance yourself in the world, and this Mercury retro helps you cultivate new ideas to spice things up and how others value what you have to offer. Libra, questions arise about whether you're really using all of the resources at hand to explore and define your personal philosophy. Scorpio, wondering if you can depend on the resources of others? Consider how you could make adjustments in your investments and leverage your resources for greater return. Sagittarius, others connect with your vision, and together you can collaborate on something bigger. Or not. You want to make changes in partnerships to give you a more solid base to your future projects. Capricorn, this brings up details about how you can adjust your daily habits to better meet your schedule and your many responsibilities and ensure your health is cared for in the most strategic way. Aquarius, you're redefining what best supports a sustainable home base that gives you more enjoyment due to changes with children or simply wanting to take a risk on something you've been thinking about. Pisces, there may be an opportunity to move or reorganize your space for more creative opportunity. Movement will ultimately give you more stability, but you don't want to sign any contracts unless you've totally evaluated everything on that contract while Mercury is retrograde. I'll be back as the moon enters the balance of Libra to bring additional perspectives late Wednesday. If you'd like to learn more about what I offer, join me on elisaostrander.com. Thank you so much for listening.